I'm Emmett Abati Doe, setting the record straight, on the real side, Stork reality. This man here has a phenomenal, flawless record that is jam-packed with scruples and truthfulness. Mr. Abati Doe.
Well, where do we start?
It's your world. You're commander-in-chief. You're the president of the streets.
Well, I think in terms of setting the record straight, we have to come to a place of demystifying our ongrowing circumstance. And we also have to come to terms with the truth of the reality of our relationship to America that is much different than what we have been led to believe. There has to be an explanation, there has to be a reason why we have made so little progress as a people since the so-called Emancipation Proclamation was decreed, which was a sham, because those persons who were so-called emancipated were not given...
You're referring to Abraham Lincoln?
Most definitely.
Oh man, I heard that guy was a good guy. He chopped down a cherry tree and told the truth. He did it.
No, that was George Washington and the cherry tree.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Okay. But we have been the victims of many travesties. And one of the biggest travesties that we have been victimized by as a people was the falsehood of emancipation, which was never designed or intended to have been in our interest.
What does emancipation mean? Is there a meaning for that? Mean like freedom or love?
Well, yeah, basically emancipation was letting go of.
Emancipation Proclamation means let go of
to free. No. To free, to emancipate means to let go of, to liberate, to set free, to set loose.
I just want to make sure the homies in the street understand where you're coming from at all times.
Well, I mean, everybody has heard of the Emancipation Proclamation, who's ever heard of Abraham Lincoln.
Right.
And but they don't understand that that document was phony, and that we have never been emancipated, that technically and in reality we're still property. We have to understand that PMIAs, which is people made in America, represent we represent the descendants of those enslaved prisoners of wars that they called slaves. We were never slaves, we were enslaved. And that's a big difference. But we've been brainwashed, and it's been drummed into the minds of anyone who has ears that we were slaves.
Are you ever planning on writing a book?
No, I'm in the process of living it.
Okay. How do you live a book and make it a New York bestseller is my other question.
I'm not interested in it being a bestseller. I'm interested in the concepts being understood and acted on by the people that I'm most concerned about.
What do you offer the world?
In terms of offering the world, we have an opportunity that we must take advantage of to bring about a better world by asserting our own interest
Okay.
as a people.
And this is what you bring to the world,
And
asserting your own interests.
It's about understanding that as a people, as an African descended people,
Right.
for the past 400 years, we have had our interest and that which best works for us subordinated.
Okay.
And as we look about, Europeans control Africa. Europeans control and exploit the resources of Africa. And Africans are poor and hungry and landless on their own continent.
Right.
I mean, that's mind blowing when you know.
So what do you offer
What do
the
you think
world?
about it?
What do you want the world to know, Emmett Abati Doe? When anybody thinks of your name, Emmett Abati Doe, what do you want that name to symbolize? What do you want that to be a symbol of?
Self and collective actualization.
Actualization meaning
Actualization
the stuff you've
meaning
been explaining just for the past 5-10 minutes is self-actualization.
self-actualization as a people.
Okay.
We have to reclaim our selfhood as a people.
Okay.
We have to reclaim that which is rightfully ours and assert our right to have those things work for us. The resources, let's begin with manpower. Let's begin with our physical resources. We have to re-educate ourselves and to direct the physical resources that we have at our disposal. Our own bodies must be redirected to benefit us
Okay.
and to generate income, not looking for a job, but to be the job, to create the circumstances that will generate income. It's not a job that you want. It's not a job that you need. It is income that you want. It is income that you need. Because rich people don't work. Rich people do not work. They do not have to work. They have stolen enough money. They have enough money that's giving them a standard of living, unearned income, based on the things that have been passed down by generation by generation by generation, where they don't have to work because they have income, stocks, bonds, dividends, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now we've got people who are trust babies, where they got so much money set aside by grandfathers or parents, et cetera, where they don't have to do anything except go to the mailbox every month, and there's a check there that someone else set up to make sure that they'd never have to worry or never have to work for the rest of their life.
Nice.
So we need to understand that we have to, as a people, rearrange how we use our own natural resource and begin with that. And I suggest acquainting ourselves and learning the Community Economic Development Plan and visiting the edcuinc.com website.
Oh, what's that?
And start getting busy.
So, what are those websites
It is edcuinc.com website. And read at this site the Community Economic Development Plan of 1993. Now, as a people, beyond that, because we are a people, PMIA represent the people made in America, and there are PMIB, people made in Brazil, there are PMIJ, people made in Jamaica, PMIH, PMIH are the people made in Haiti, PMIC, the people made in Cuba, and so on and so on and so forth. We have, no, not the people made in China. We have African descended people throughout the diaspora, and those who cannot send a package home are PMI something. PMIC for Canada, PMIAs for, or PMINS for Nova Scotia. We were dispersed throughout the Western Hemisphere, And we have to understand that we are not citizens of whatever country we happen to find ourselves in as the direct descendants of a prisoner of war. And we need to understand that. And it is unpleasant and maybe as disassociating as that might be, we have to come to terms with that, because we can't solve a problem until we understand what the problem is. And the problem is that we are not citizens of whatever country or whatever language our ancestors were brought to do a particular job, and after that job was done, we have no further purpose or need. And until we understand that and start moving toward creating our own economic future, then we will continue to be driven into the lower bowels of the economic society of whatever country or whatever language you speak, regardless.
Okay. What is www.storkreality.com?
Storkreality.com represents the day you were born, is your mother's birthday.
Nice.
Honor her.
Nice.
And storkreality.com is a physical representation of a reality that a man or a childless person cannot have a birthday. And I have seen children born. I have cut the umbilical cord on my youngest child, and I assure you guys, you don't want to have a birthday. Let the girls handle that. Let them handle it. And they do a great job. But you don't want to do that. We have birthing days, and some people say Earth days. That's what males have. But if you're female and you don't have a child, you don't have a birthday. A birthday is very simple. A birthday is earned by a woman, a female who gives birth. And Stork Reality is a corporation, a company that prepares proclamations to that effect, to honor the mother for this extraordinary gift of life that she gave or she gives. And we also honor the birth child, and we also honor the father, the male, because you can't make a baby without a man.
Quick question. Well, tell us about your radio show. What is this radio show? You know, I hear you're #1 in Houston. Your radio show is top rated in Houston. What's this about?
Well, I don't know about top rated, but for many years I did have a presence on the radio, which goes back to my days as News and Public Affairs Director at Texas Southern University's radio station, where I began as News and Public Affairs Director.
Nice.
And had an opportunity to interview several very important people, including Dr. Joseph Ben Yakanan. We brought him to the airways of Houston for the first time. And I also had an opportunity to interview C. Eric Lincoln, Dr. C. Eric Lincoln, and also Dr. Benjamin Hooks. And we also interviewed some Klans people.
Wow.
And
how did that go?
And John Birchers.
Sorry.
And I don't know whether I said Benjamin Hooks, but
I don't think so.
Benjamin Hooks, who was on his way stepping down from the chairman of the Federal Communications Department to become the head of the NAACP. And I had an opportunity to interview him. And
you were just a kid?
No, I wasn't a kid. I was in my early 30s. So,
still a young man.
But and then I had an opportunity to work with a great journalist, Ed Shannon, and of the Shannon Report, and many of the older people know about Ed Shannon, both on radio and television,
Okay.
and did a number of his programs. I had programs of my own. So I have been involved with talk show hosting since 1969, where my first talk show was in Atlanta, Georgia, Ring Radio.
Nice.
So for a number of years, I have been inactive in terms of radio. And here at the Houston Media Source, an opportunity has been made available for me to get back into that medium and to deliver on a weekly basis my thoughts and commentaries. So beginning this Thursday at 12 noon, and every Thursday, I will be doing
noon on Thursdays.
On the Real Side.
On the Real Side.
On the Real Side.
This is the creator, president, founder, owner of the Real Side. Okay? So this is why you're watching this right now.
Thank you. So I invite everyone to tell their friends. If you want to have a stimulating hour, when I was doing the program at KTSU, the girls over in the administration office told me that they would prefer to listen to my program during their lunch break than watch the soaps. So that was like, wow, that was like really amazing, because you girls know how you all like the soaps. But if you want to begin to dust off the cobwebs and begin to get grounded again in solutions and in understanding the problems that we face as a people are very serious. And Dr. King said that they were very serious. And they were very serious back when I was in the room with him and heard those very words.
Right.
In 1967.
Okay.
So things are worse now than they were when Dr. King spoke those words. We have not gone forward. We have gone backwards. And the problem is that racism and white domination and white subjugation is so sophisticated, mainly because of the medium that we're using to communicate with you. That the images on television, the things that you see on your laptop and on your desktop is so disarming and so so deceptive. It gives you a very distorted sense of reality, and you're part of that.
Gotcha. All right, Houston, this has been a super day in learning, education, fun. Don't go around chopping down no cherry trees and lying about it. You understand, Houston? So I'm Emmett Abati Doe, and this is Setting the Record Straight. Make sure you catch the radio show on noon at Thursdays. And go and make sure you log into www.ontherealside.com for local listings. And, you know, if you're not in Houston and you want to catch it and you're not a member of Comcast, you can catch it through the internet, live and streaming, okay? So, like I said, y'all keep him #1 rated. And I won't have to take his belt and spank some of you.
Good morning. It's a historic day.
Dengan bangga kami umumkan
В этот исторический
we announce
день
the latest winner of the world-renowned Global Innovation Prize.
He has an amazing story of achievement over the years.
Successes he attributes to his education.
After graduating from one of the most distinguished universities, first working with the UN on solutions for global sustainability.
Это решение, которое навсегда изменит наше отношение к окружающему миру.
Mr. Young, you must be incredibly proud to see one of your former employees go so far.
Well, I always knew that he was special and would go on to do great things in life.
My next guest, ladies and gentlemen, has come up with a global solution that will allow us to reduce urban congestion by 300%. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this is fantastic. Wait. Okay, now, before we get started, your family made me promise to share this picture of you. Now, this is back when you first started with EF. Getting that? Well, if you think they're excited, check out what's going on around the world.
This looks great. This is going to be an amazing story.